I was born quite some time ago. I don't reveal my age, but I was actually born to a voodoo priest of a mother, and there is some debate over who my father is. My mother would always tease me and tell me he was a roadie for the Marshall Tucker Band, but I never believed that.
You know, it's funny, because often I have said that I am the product of an elder god and a dumpster whore.
But I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, but I grew up in between there and Scranton, Pennsylvania, which I refer to as the Big Easy.
What I do know is that my first real conscious memory is of the young Baron's face.
I met Dr. Calamari actually when we were both small children. My mother, when he was an inkling, my mother was about to throw him into a big pot of gumbo. And I saw him and I was like, "Mom, don't throw him in there. He's my friend." So she spared him, and I just sort of watched him crawl away.
Pleading with his mother, and his mother's face down, you know, and she's looking all voodoo scary down at me, and I'm like wriggling.
So we started traveling around. We'd do little shows here and there for money. At one point, I would start reading tarot cards outside of a 7-Eleven, and he'd walked up after I hadn't seen him in years. Decided we should do a little adventuring together, so we did. Went out over the country, kind of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas style, but not so witty and in a less cool car.
I am really much more than a horror host or a, you know, destroyer of human beings. I collect dolls, and I like kittens, usually with some Béarnaise sauce.
My alcoholism started to peak around last Tuesday. Usually I just hang out in the basement of the Cinematic more. I ended up there because I was on a bus to Scranton to see my mother, and it left me behind while I was in Bloomington, and I knew the doctor was here hosting, so he let me crash at his place.
Eventually, you know, I'll join the ranks and we'll drag this planet off black and reeking and to some nameless dimension for some nameless purpose and toss the lot of you into whatever bottomless gulf may yawn. So, you know, that's pretty much where I'm headed.
Atomic Age Cinema is a live hosted horror movie show.
It's $3 and it's old bad horror movies.
We make fun of the film. We also kind of lovingly let people know how much we do like these films, and we always hope to attract an audience that kind of is on the same wavelength we are.
Atomic Age Cinema is it's a fundraiser that we put on the Cinephile group.
Cinephile is a local filmmakers group. We sort of provide a resource for local filmmakers.
So they started this, and really what it does is we connect people who want to be in filmmaking in any aspect, be it you know, acting or editing or special effects or lighting or, you know, photography, whatever. If you want to be in filmmaking, we get people connected.
The Kick and I, we don't get to see all that much of each other. Excuse me, at the midnight show, he's there from time to time, and I see him. I really like the impish little guy. I just think he needs to learn a little more about the world is all, and stop fooling himself that he doesn't drink, because he does, even though it does give him super humorous powers, as he puts it.
The Baron is tall and drunk. I think that the Baron is drunk.
Best thing about that's a good question. The best thing about hosting Atomic Age Cinema, the glory,
getting recognized on the street. You know, it's good. I mean, you walk down the street, people say, "Hey, Dr. Calamari," and you know, in other towns they chased me with torches.
Well, Dr. Calamari and I are friends half the time and enemies half the time. Well, we're really friends, but sometimes we just really get at each other's throats.
I was the first host, and he, you know, came along, and suddenly he's got top billing. I know it's just because he's taller, but I mean, still, he's got top billing, and his merchandise has been selling a little better than mine, and so sometimes, you know, I get a little fed up with that, and I have to say that, you know, He's a fine sort. I just every now and again I need to punch him in the face. But he's also sort of a skeletal thing, and then you know he gets me involved in these rituals, and it's often a messy affair. You know when deities show up to your house.
I was kind of a rebellious child. My mother was always calling me back, and then when I wouldn't come, she'd cast some spell, and I'd just teleport right back into my bedroom and not be able to leave. It's so hard to be a rebellious teen when you've got a voodoo priest for a mother.
There are so many, so many wonderful things about hosting Atomic Age Cinema. It's difficult to name just one, It's like trying to pick a favorite movie. I suppose that the worst part about it, I think it's not getting paid.
It's all a good cause. You get prizes, you get laughter, memories.
And, it's just the best thing going. There's nothing better that you can do on a Saturday night at midnight. What, you're going to go dancing? You're going to go to the bar?
There's beer. Lots and lots of delicious beer.